Hi everyone, this is Chris. I'm here to talk about debugging LanguageForge PHP backend code in the application itself. So in running up the application in the web browser and then debugging the backend using VS Code, PHP XDebug. Okay, let's get started. Alright, I'll open up VS Code here. So I've got my web LanguageForge repo open and my terminal here. I'll just quickly change it into the Docker directory and build the application. Okay, fantastic. The application is running. I can now just open up Edge and I'll type in localhost. Of course, continue. Alright, so I've got an exception. Fantastic. So I could debug this exception, find out what the problem is. So why don't we just go ahead and look at that right now. In VS Code, well actually in the terminal, DC logs app. Okay, so it's saying that there's a JSON decode error in this API service LD API file. Okay, well let's find that file and then set a breakpoint and debug it. So in the source folder, find API service LD API. Let's open that up. Great. Let's find. So this has a public static function called .NET Core Server. You can see the outline over here. There's a call. Let's see. I think this is just in the call. So, there's a return called node server. Fine. So let's just set a breakpoint right here and see if we can't get the application to break right here. So the first thing I need to do is actually start XDebug. So I'll click over here and then I'll click the green play button to start XDebug, and you'll notice immediately that the status bar in VS Code turns orange. So now I'll go ahead and flip over to here and I'll just reload the page and see what happens. Okay. Immediately I noticed that VS Code is flashing over here. So it has caught the execution of the application and it has stopped at this breakpoint under called Node.js server. So I can see, I can now step through the program and see where this exception is occurring. So I can step over, JWT ops, okay. It's setting some variables, creating a client, and then submitting a request. And now it's trying to do the JSON decode, which status code. Okay, and now it's already back in JSON RPC server. So I'll just hit continue. Oh, it's doing it again. Let's continue. It's doing it again. And look at that. It finished. So the application is actually working just fine. There seemed to be a bug there that wasn't caught after I refreshed, so I'm not going to go into that at the moment. But you can see how setting a breakpoint and starting XDebug to stop the application on that breakpoint can work pretty easily. I've also shown you how to find, like if you're experiencing an exception in the program itself, you can see that here using Docker compose logs. Sorry, I should have typed this out. Docker compose logs. I just use DC as an alias in my command in Bash for Docker compose, and that will show you. You can scroll through this and find like an Apache notice or error, which is a PHP notice or error. So there you go. Let's go ahead and do one more debugging exercise just so we can see how things are working. I'll just go to the profile page. So here I can see my profile, and there's some information that's already filled in about myself. My email address, username. Let's see where that information comes from. So the user profile app uses user profile. It's going to be the user profile DTO. So user profile DTO is going to list, it's going to show us what this information that's coming down to the web page. I can see this if I put a breakpoint. So let's try this. Okay, it is, I think it's verified. Let me go ahead and refresh the page so I can hit that breakpoint. Okay, I can see that my breakpoint in the user profile DTO has been hit. So now I can step through and see. You'll notice that the local variables are available to me, like user ID. So now let's go ahead and we'll just step over these things. It gets user profile information, and now I've got like a nice big user profile array with information about myself here. Now I can, I'll go ahead and just continue stepping through, and I'll just continue. So at this point, the application in the browser hasn't received the data yet. It's still waiting. Now I'm going to click continue, and then the data comes down into the browser and displays. Okay, that's pretty much it for this demo debugging the application using XDebug. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.